Hello everyone, my name's Colleen. I thought I'd hop on quickly and share with you what inspired me into following my purpose and how everything unfolded, and where I got to today, how I got to today, where I am today. So if you're interested in that kind of content, transformation and growth, please like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. As much as I'm encouraging self-leadership, I myself am on the journey to growth, to self-leadership, to expansion, to evolution, and to sharing my experience so that you might be inspired to walk the same path of doing the hard work, the inner work, so that you can have your own positive impact on the world. So right back in the year 2012, September 2012, was when I had my first, what I like to think of as a mystical experience. I remember it was the first Thursday of the month of September, and I woke up and I wasn't feeling on my brightest. I was feeling quite down and kind of like blue and depressed, and I got out of bed quite late in the morning. I think it was already past 8 or 9, and I went into the garden, and at that moment all my clevias, they like these beautiful orange flowers, they were all in full bloom. And I just stood there in awe of these gorgeous flowers. And I don't know how long I stood there for, but whatever happened between me and the flowers certainly transformed my mood for the rest of the day and puts me on a path of curiosity, of thinking, what just happened to me, you know? And whatever that was, if it was a taste of what could be, I certainly want to participate in that. So, as I stood there admiring these beautiful flowers and just, flowing love to them, you know, I don't know if obviously they got the communication telepathically that I thought they were beautiful. And after about 10 minutes of just standing there entranced and enthralled by these beautiful plants, I started feeling this flow from the flowers directly into my heart. And it was this intense feeling of love that I have never, ever experienced in all my years. So in 2012, I think I was probably about 53 or something, somewhere there. My math is bad. Or 54. And it was something that just blew me away. And then for the next few years after that, I kind of forgotten about that experience and just let life do its thing, you know, and have its way with me. And then in 2026, my life was turned upside down. Like through my child, my daughter, through a relationship gone wrong, you know, the lesson of knowing what a narcissist is for the first time. That came hand in hand with my experience. And yeah, I tolerated the experience for maybe 6.5 weeks, and then I was done. And I chose discomfort over abuse. That was would you say my drug of choice at the time? But my whole life fell apart, and it took from 2017 January till just past March 2020 for me to rebuild what I thought was broken. By doing the inner work, by deciding I want to change who I am, and change my world. And I'd heard so many times that the only way you can bring change about is by changing yourself. And I decided, well, if that's what it takes, that's the journey I'm embarking on. And for me, I was on to change. I just wanted transformation. I was so sick of my life. I was so sick of doing things that were out of alignment with who I was, doing things to please people and to please people's expectations of who they wanted me to be, but not necessarily of who I inherently was. And when I decided to correct that, it's almost like I hit the jackpot, because post-March 2020, it felt like all my inner hard work had paid off. And all of a sudden, my desire to feel that I was enough, to feel my own worth and my value, all of that, came to fruition. And then I felt it in 2020. But let's take a few steps prior to 2020. After my life fell apart in 2016, in January 2017, I had an experience with Jesus for a very short while in my car driving home, but not all the way home, halfway home. And also a very valuable lesson that came from that. It's not Jesus that turns away from us. It's us that turn away from him. By the tone of the mood we choose to have in the moment. Now, if we all could agree on one thing, that all we have is the present moment, and there's no other way to turn up in the present moment than in the joyful now. Because it's from this now that you create your future going forward. And I'm hoping to be an example to anyone that cares to change their lives, and to decide to go into the opposite direction, because they've finally come to the realization that they can no longer keep on choosing making the same choice and expecting a different outcome, because we all know what that equals: insanity. So now once you can choose yourself, in the entirety of who you are, all the aspects, all your past, present, and future aspects, and the people, the aspects that you want to become. Once you can choose that over everything else, you're choosing your own growth, and that's stepping in the right direction, because you can only impact others when you can impact yourself, and when you can choose self-acceptance and growth. And on that happy note, I want to ask, if you loved this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share. And it would be nice if you want change, if you could, join this community. I know it's like very early days, probably my second day in the year, but since I had my heart opening awakening in 2020, it's never closed. I've had experiences where I accessed my darkest side, and straight after that I was back in joy. Nothing keeps me down, not even being dark. And being dark, just for your information, I don't shy away from that, but it's not good, so I would never promote it because it's not good for my body. And if it's not good for my body, it certainly can't be good for your body. And that's the only reason I don't promote it. Okay? Because I'm only interested in how can we benefit? And how can we do good with what we have? And what we have is our body. And with that, my loves, keep shining and smiling. I love you.